Here's your news update today for October 30th. With the next payday for troops approaching Friday, the White House confirmed Wednesday that it had found the money. The Trump administration plans to move around $5.3 billion from various accounts, with about $2.5 billion coming from Trump's big tax and spending cuts bill that was signed into law this summer. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on CBS's Face the Nation that the government will soon run out of ways to compensate the military and that by November 15th, the troops aren't going to be able to get paid. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Thursday he had agreed with President Xi Jinping to trim tariffs on China in exchange for Beijing cracking down on the illicit fentanyl trade, resuming U.S. soybean purchases, and keeping rare earths exports flowing. The deal, according to Beijing, also included a U.S. pledge to delay for a year a new measure that was strongly opposed by China to bar thousands of Chinese firms from receiving U.S. technology if they are part-owned by a sanctioned company. President Donald Trump ordered the U.S. military on Thursday to immediately resume testing nuclear weapons after a gap of 33 years, minutes after beginning a meeting with the Chinese president. He said he was instructing the Pentagon to test the U.S. nuclear arsenal on an equal basis with other nuclear powers. Trump appeared to be sending a message to both China and Russia. China has more than doubled their nuclear warhead arsenal over the past 5 years, and Russia just tested 2 nuclear-powered weapons over recent days. The Trump administration is restricting the number of refugees it admits into the country to 7,500, after the U.S. previously allowed last year's ceiling set under the Biden administration of 125,000. The memo said only that the admission of the 7,500 refugees during the 2026 fiscal year was justified by humanitarian concerns or is otherwise in the national interest. Trump said in an annual refugee determination dated September 30th that admissions would be focused largely on South Africans from the country's white ethnic minority. The New York governor on Thursday declared a state of emergency to issue $65 million for assistance to food banks as federal funding for the National Food Stamp Program is set to lapse on November 1st. Oregon and Virginia have also issued emergency declarations to free up funds for emergency food assistance. There could be more states that follow in those footsteps.